What's up guys, Houndish here, and today I wanted to jump in and talk about Anthem. So I want to speak about why I'm not really posting all that much Anthem content here on the channel. I also want to talk about EA Game Changers and why I'm not a huge fan of the program, and I'll probably get flamed for even posting an Anthem video. That seems to be happening an awful lot, whether it's positive or negative right now, and I guess the reasons for that would include that some folks simply don't like Anthem, never really liked the idea of the game, and especially don't like EA, and I can kind of relate to that. Equally, there are players who are very excited for Anthem, and are maybe left feeling a little bit disappointed based on the current state of the game. But there is a third party as well, folks who are simply enjoying Anthem for what it is, and whichever group you're in, it's okay to have your own opinion, man. Not everyone has to like the same thing. Equally, I don't think we have to shove anything down each other's throats either. So I wanted to jump in and talk about it a little bit, but once again, primarily, I want to speak about why I'm not really covering Anthem. But if you are having fun with the game, then that's absolutely fantastic. Anthem is a pretty fun game, flying around, blowing stuff up. I feel like Anthem definitely has something going for it, and it definitely has potential. And once again, if you are someone enjoying the game, then absolutely you don't need somebody else to tell you whether it's good, whether you should be enjoying it or not. I think that's always the worst possible thing that can happen coming out of these situations. But of course, Anthem does have its fair share of problems. There are a lot of bugs, glitches, issues with servers. There is a lack of endgame content right now with the game, and loot is also pretty strange, running strongholds on Grandmaster tiers and stuff like that isn't anywhere near as rewarding as it needs to be. And when it comes more to Anthem's fundamental problems, some of the load-in, the technical restraints, a lot of this stuff I spoke about a month ago in a video, and I was fairly critical about Anthem back then, and for me personally, more or less everything that I said in that video still stands exactly as I said it, at this point in time for me. Nonetheless, I hope Anthem is the game that they can continue to improve. They have dropped a roadmap of content. It looks like it's going to be a little while till any kind of more bulky endgame content actually arrives, probably in May with the Cataclysm event. So yeah, Anthem is a game that has a lot of problems, and for me personally, a lot of those issues do make the game less enjoyable. And there may be some folks who are thinking, you're a bit of a hypocrite. You've posted Destiny content for all these years, and of course Destiny has had its fair share of problems as well. But for me personally, this is my personal assessment. The launch state of Anthem versus Destiny 2, I don't think it's anywhere near, guys, but that's just my personal opinion. That, however, is not the primary reason that I haven't really been posting Anthem content. So it became pretty apparent for me personally that interest in Anthem content was fairly low from my subscriber base. It was actually lower than I thought it was going to be. Equally though, from the early Anthem content that I posted, it was pretty mixed in terms of feedback, and it did feel like a lot of people didn't really want to see Anthem content in their subscriber feed from me, and I think there's more than one reason why that happened, and I think EA Game Changers is actually part of that. But when I look at, the things that aren't working with Anthem right now, the actual lack of content that I would have to post about the game in the end game, sure I could do build guides and things like that, but even when I look in my subscriber feed right now, most of the videos, and this isn't calling any creators out, everyone that I'm subscribed to, they're all people that I respect, it's content that I enjoy to watch. But more than anything else, I'm seeing, negative conversations, frustrations about the game, and it being incredibly divisive for the communities involved in it. And yeah, there's toxicity about Anthem as well. And when you combine that, because of course I'm not just a guy playing the game, and I can't ignore the kind of things and the feedback that people are giving about Anthem and the content that I'm posting about it. So when I combine that with the issues that Anthem does have, for me personally, the whole thing just became not very fun anymore. I wasn't really enjoying posting Anthem content. And the reality is, if I'm not having fun with the game and I'm trying to post content on it, then that's not fun for any of you guys. It's impossible for me to make good content when I'm not enjoying the experience on the whole, and that's once again not purely because of the things that Anthem does right and wrong. And also, I didn't want to be in a position where I'm just constantly giving negative feedback about the game because I'm frustrated with it. Yes, I've done that with Destiny for a few years, but personally it's on a different level. And with Destiny, it's always felt like I can take things that are frustrating players and then actually try and turn that into a positive conversation, a list of problems that we have, and then ways that they could be repaired or fixed. And I feel like a lot of the times that I've tried to do that with Anthem, it's been met, with a fair amount of toxicity, and I'm still seeing that from other creators posting about the game. Once again though, that this may kind of upset some people to hear me talk about this. I'm not saying Anthem is bad, and I'm not saying you should feel bad for posting it. I'm just saying how I feel about it, And also, a lot of my friends are playing a lot of Anthem, like a lot of Anthem right now, and I'm chilling in parties with them and all that kind of stuff. So believe me, I'm not a guy trying to hate on Anthem. I'm really happy to see my friends actually enjoying something different. Nonetheless, the fundamental problems that Anthem has do very much concern me, and that would include things like the loading screens, the technical limitations that appear to be there in the game, having to use the Forge to change all of your gear and not having the option to do that when you're actually inside of content. Those very much feel like normal fundamentals that you want to get right with the game, and it worries me a lot that BioWare haven't been able to do that in the many years of development they've had so far. Again, I'm not trying to hate, but I do worry about BioWare's ability to actually resolve these issues moving forward. Before we get any more sidetracked on that though, I want to speak about EA Game Changers and why the Game Changers program started to make me feel pretty uneasy about Anthem content and having to actually put that EA Game Changer stamp on the early content that I posted about Anthem. And the reason I want to talk about this is that I feel it has actually contributed to some of the negativity around the launch of the game, but also some of that negative feedback around the content that a lot of channels have been posting. A lot of you guys will remember when early Anthem gameplay and news and stuff was coming out, especially for Destiny fans, people in the Destiny community, a lot of your favorite creators started posting Anthem content and you were constantly seeing that stamp, you know? This video is brought to you by EA Game Changers, this video is sponsored by EA Game Changers, and I started to get a lot of comments, you know, how much are they paying you to do this? What did they give you to say good things about the game? And obviously that's not a positive thing for my relationship with my audience, and for me personally it didn't actually reflect my relationship with EA. So to be 100% transparent about that process for me personally, I received an email that were like, hey, do you want to come and play Anthem early and capture some content? If you do want to do that, you'll need to join our EA Game Changers program. And the main reason for that for me is that anytime, you know, a company pays for you to travel to go somewhere to check out a game early or whatever, you have to disclose that they've actually made that possible, right? It's the same thing I had to do last year. I went to E3 with Activision, and that was so that I could get Destiny and Forsaken content for you guys. And you always have to disclose that stuff. So partially, EA Game Changers helps to manage those disclosures. The way EA Game Changers is set up is that it's a kind of program for content creators, and I feel like that applies a little bit of pressure for people not to say negative stuff. I'm not saying that anyone is told not to say negative stuff, but you guys get what I'm saying. Even calling it a program kind of gives folks some feeling that they have a higher level of association with EA, and despite that, many creators have spoken their mind about the game, but I think you guys get what I'm saying. It's made worse by the fact that EA Game Changers do actually do sponsored content, and what that means is that essentially they pay a content creator to produce content about a game. It could be a guide, it could be an overview of how the game works. EA say that they don't do sponsored reviews, but the issue that I have is that sponsored content, the content that EA are actually paying content producers to make, and then content presented by EA Game Changers, which means that you are part of the program in order to go and capture the content and haven't actually been paid necessarily. All of it comes under the same banner, you know? Personally, I don't really like that, and it's understandable that this is, you know, somewhat confusing to the audience as well. And just to clarify, I was never paid to make any content about Anthem. I went to one EA Game Changers capture event for Anthem in London, so EA paid for my travel down to London, as well as accommodation overnight, and then I simply played Anthem, captured content, and was allowed to make videos at my own rate, with the exception of, you know, NDAs and all that stuff. So yeah, I didn't want you guys to think that I was being paid or being influenced to say specific things about Anthem, and this isn't an all-out assault on EA Game Changers. EA are the corporate evil of the world. I'm just saying why I don't like it, why I feel uneasy about having that stamp that says EA Game Changers. I don't like you guys feeling that I'm trying to sell you something, simply as opposed to us having a collective enjoyment of that content. That's why I make the content I do. Of course, it's good for me when games do well, but the reality is games live and die by what they do, not by what I tell people, right? That's why I don't really like EA Game Changers. That's why I wanted to disclose my relationship with them, but also to let you guys know where I stand right now. And overall, yeah, this is why I'm not really covering Anthem. I know it's a weird amalgamation of things, but like I say, when I put all of it together, the way that a lot of people in my community feel about Anthem, how divisive it is, the negativity around Game Changers and the game itself, it's just not fun for me, guys, at this point in time. We'll see what happens in the future. And like I say, for any of you guys enjoying Anthem content, there are some folks actually making some really great Anthem content on YouTube. It is, however, going to be a rocky road, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. Have you been playing? Have you been enjoying Anthem? Are you trying to just kind of take it for what it is and see what the future holds? Or are you one of those players who's very disappointed in Anthem? This tends to be a bit of a thing with, you know, big AAA looter shooters. It's very difficult to get one of these games right at launch, apparently, as we've seen with many of them in the past. Or if you're one of those folks who just simply never bought into Anthem, I'd love to hear what you all think down in the comment section, but let's not go for each other's throats. That is the worst thing that always happens whenever there's something as divisive as Anthem is on the whole. We're all allowed to feel different things, man. Thank you guys so much for the support recently. I'll be keeping you posted on upcoming games, and of course the Destiny stuff. We'll have to see what Bungie have got to offer over there. We'll find out in a few days, I think, but otherwise, let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel and you enjoy the conversation, maybe you like Anthem, Destiny, looter shooters, I tend to be talking about most of them in some form here on the channel. So hit subscribe if you feel like it, but otherwise, thank you for listening to me waffle on, wow. And otherwise, I hope you guys have an awesome day.